Good afternoon, Marine. Would you tell me your name?
My name is Paul Kahle.
And where are you from, Paul?
I currently live in Roseville, California.
And where was home? Has that always been home?
No. I've always been basically, I joined the Marines in California, got out in California, stayed in California.
Okay, super. When did you serve in MASS-3?
I served in MASS-3 from 1966 until February 1966 until May of 1968.
Okay. And where were you stationed?
I was initially stationed in El Toro, which is where MASS-3 was when it was stateside prior to deployment. And then I went with MASS-3 over to Vietnam on the landing ship Tank.
What was your job?
I was a radar technician, so I repaired maintained the radar that we used.
What did you like about your service in MASS-3?
I guess looking back on it, it was really neat. I met a lot of people that I know to this day, some of whom are here, and those are just really lasting, enduring friendships.
Would you say that was the same for all your Marine Corps experience?
I would definitely say that. When I came back from overseas, I was stationed at MCRD in San Diego for the remainder of my enlistment, and I met people there that I meet with on an annual basis now. So it's a fraternity.
Do you have any stories to tell us about your service?
MASS-3 in particular.
MASS-3 or Marines in general?
MASS-3 in particular, let's see, any particular stories? We had, before we went to Vietnam, we did a deployment in preparation, and we went to Camp Pendleton, and we had this big deployment. We went through this exercise. We had a reserve unit that acted as the enemy and were trying to, interrupt our operations, attack us, all sorts of stuff. We got all done with that. Last day, they brought in some shower wagons, because we hadn't had showers for a week. We were in the field. And they brought in steaks and beer, and a fire broke out. And the fire department on the base asked us to help. So rather than start with the beer and the showers, we went out and put the fire out. And then we all came back, and some of us were like 18, 19, 20. We all had a couple of beers, we had a steak, had a shower, got all cleaned up. Fire started again. We went back and fought the fire after we'd gotten cleaned up, under the influence of a couple of beers. We got all done with that, and the shower wagons were gone. So we returned to the base, and as I recall, there was a welcoming committee for us back at the base at El Toro, and we came in there looking like we just came straight from a war zone, not from having showers and steak dinners. It was pretty bad.
So your re-entrance was one of a very dirty nature.
It was, yeah, we were not the cleanest looking bunch of people.
Anything else that brings to light?
The LST that we went overseas on, left port twice, and I was a Lance Corporal, so I was in the hold. So, and on chain duty, they called it, because we had all of our units chained down in the sub deck of this LST to just roll out on the beach when we got to Vietnam. And there's nothing you could do under there. What could you do? You couldn't stop these things from rolling around or breaking loose if they did. At best, you could hope to get the help. So we were gone for 4 hours, very smooth, nothing happened. Went back up on deck, and we're pulling back into San Diego because the LST had lost the use of some of its engines, and this stuff happened repeatedly all the way to Vietnam. It was just a litany of, we had fires at sea, we had all kinds of problems. We got there, and but it was a very interesting experience. It was not. I have a picture, an article on the blog site that was put up for this reunion of the ship and loading it in San Diego. And that is not an imposing looking vehicle to get onto to go across the Pacific Ocean.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.